Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly and I am really glad you guys are here. If you are new to my channel, be advised, PSA, I'm not a professional makeup artist. I am not a professional YouTube channel. I get nothing in PR. This is purchased with my own money and this video is back actually by request. I recently did a Shop My Stash with some Juvia's Place palettes, and one of my subscribers, thank you very much for the inspiration, said, hey, we would love to see some more looks with the Culture palette. This is not one that I filmed with before, and it is a large, bold, beautiful rainbow palette, and there are so many options and so many choices, and I gotta be honest, when I normally do color, I do monochromatic looks. So I tend not to get too jarring and too creative and too out of the comfort zone. One of the things I love about this palette is they keep it in the color story for you. So you have your dark purple column. You have your blue column. You have your, I'm gonna call it corally neutral column. You've got your bubblegum fuchsia pink punch, we'll call it punch column. You've got your green column, and then you've got your orangey marigold kind of color story. And that's pretty much how I would do looks with this, is I would kind of keep it in these columns. I would not necessarily try to go down a row. That's just too many shades. In fact, in all honesty, going down a column's too many shades too, but going down a row, you get one color from each of the color stories, and that doesn't always translate to a look for me. Sometimes you can look at things in squares and go, maybe, but even that's maybe a little bit too much for me. So I'm gonna do, and then the other option is to just sort of bounce all over the place or do things at a diagonal. I mean, there's lots of different ways you can look at a palette like this. It's just such a big palette that it's a little overwhelming. But I'm gonna do a few looks because you guys requested it here. So here's what I wanna do. I'm gonna try to do a look that's a little bit more work appropriate. I'm gonna do a look that's gonna be a little bit more fun daytime, and then I wanna do something a little bit more outrageous for date night, because that's pretty much how I live my life, is I live for Fridays and Saturday night when my husband's not performing and go on a date. Then I can get dolled up. We like those. We like those. Most of the time I'm just wearing boring eyeshadow because I can't be bothered with anything else. And maybe you're just like that. So I hope so. I mean, well, I don't hope that you're boring. I hope that you find me explaining that to you as a way for us to bond. That's kind of my intention. It's not confessional. I'm just telling you how I wear my eyeshadow. Okay, you guys, let's get into this palette. There's so many choices here. I've got something in my eye. Okay, I'm gonna do 3 looks today. I'm not gonna do, I mean, I could do 6. I'm not gonna do 6. My eyes cannot handle that much. I've already had makeup off and on a couple times today. So I'm gonna do 3 looks for this. If you do want me to come back, if that's not enough information for you and you want me to come back and do a second video using the other 3 kind of color stories, let me know. Leave me a comment down below. I hope you leave me a comment down below anyway. I wanna know if this is an interesting concept for you guys. The 3 looks. All right, I'm gonna zoom you in. Hang tight. We're in a little bit closer. I'm gonna start, that's Zeus shaking his collar. I'm gonna start with the row that I think becomes more of my work shade. So I'm gonna take the tan color right here in the center. This is the, if you're looking at it as it should be, this is the 4th column from the left, and this one's called Talking Drums. I do have a little bit of eyeshadow primer on already. This happens to be one that's called Thank Me Later, which is this one right here. And it's a perfectly fine eyelid primer. I like it a lot. It doesn't have any opacity to it. It pretty much is just a sheer wash of a base. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, this kind of like teddy bear brown right here is a perfectly appropriate work shade. I'm gonna go into this one. I think it says 9JA. I don't really understand. This one's a little bit more of an orangey color. Not a little bit. It's a lot of bit of an orangey color. This is not the color. I thought it was going to be a little less orange than that. That's okay. This is going to give our shimmer a little bit of depth to it, I think, if it goes the way I expect. It's kind of like almost like a champagne-y color shimmer. This one's called LJAW. Sorry, you guys. I just don't know how to pronounce that. And this is definitely a sparkly champagne-y shade. Might be a little too much for work, but I sure like the way that gives my eye some dimension. I'm going to go back into Talking Drums and I'm just going to kind of blend it a little bit into here. Maybe richen up that outer a little bit. Definitely a warm, daytime friendly, work friendly, soft and sparkly. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think with some eyeliner and some mascara, I am perfectly good to go with that. Let's see if there's any cleanup and blending I can do underneath there. Yeah, I would wear that combination for work. Absolutely. I probably didn't need the orange 9JA. I didn't need that one. There's another one in here called Wazobia. This one right here. Maybe I'll take a little bit of that underneath just to kind of ground lash line. Maybe. Okay, I gotta be honest right now, I have literally spent too much time doing something that I would do for work. That was too many shades for how I would normally do work, but I like the shape that I got. The color was great. Let's make this a little bit more fun. I gotta do something with this pink. I don't normally wear a whole lot of crazy pink shadows because, I don't know, I think I get a little feared that I'm going to end up with something akin to a rabid rabbit look. But let's just start with pink. I'm starting with Benin, B-E-N-I-N, as my lid. I'm actually going to take it almost all over my lid. I'm not somebody who normally wears pastel shadows, and frankly, fuchsia, neon, kind of is a little bit out of my comfort zone, but that's actually a really lovely shade. I just don't wear a lot of pink eyeshadow. If I'm gonna wear pink eyeshadow, I'm gonna probably do more of a contrast with something else. There's this shade right here that's like a finely milled glitter. I'm a little nervous. I think this one and this one, maybe that one, are kind of all in the same component. I'm going to take this shimmer right here, which is almost like a duochrome looking one. It's called EFIK, Effic. I'm going to put that in the center. My fat fingers, I've got a little bit of transfer. Wow, that is a pink shimmer with a green shift to it. That's actually kind of fun, right? Now I'm going to go into Calabash, which is this one right here, which I think is going to be a little bit more of the glittery shade. And I'm putting this all over my... And again, I do have that eyelid primer, movable lid space here. Definitely a fun, very fun, effervescent kind of look. That's a lot of glitter, but there's so many different shades of glitter in it. That's really kind of fun. It's fun and pretty, and I don't mind it with that green shift to that other pink shade too. It's crazy. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know by looking at this. Maybe you would, but if you look at it, well, if you look at it in the pan, it's hard to see with the viewfinder, but if you look at it in the pan, it definitely looks like a very, very pale pink and not with the green shift that I got. I actually really like that. Let me go into the darker shade in this row here, or this column, called Kobo. I'm going to use that out here. Oh, wow. That shade has a real punch to it. I think I referred to this as my punchy row, didn't I? Wow, to ground out that shimmer and give your eyes some dimension and still keep all this pink craziness. That's fun. That's bold and fun. I'm a little intimidated by it, but you know what I need to do? I'm going to go into this purple over here, and I'm going to put a little bit of that just along my lash line to kind of deepen that up. I want to keep with that same craziness, but I do want to give that lash line a little definition, a little smoky eye drama, and kind of anchor it just a little bit. That's how I would wear those pink shades. Wow, that's super pretty. Okay. Boring daytime, like work look, fun, effervescent daytime look, not necessarily date night, maybe date night, depending on what I'm wearing. Let me put some mascara on, I'll be right back. Okay guys, back with my mascara on. That always kind of just finishes things off a little bit. We do have the boring daytime look. Completely appropriate work look. I got light, I got a little bit of some depth and dimension. This is absolutely something that I can see myself wearing for work. It's not eye-catching. It's just basic and safe. This one over here though, that's how I would wear pink. I normally don't do like an all-over effervescent pink eye look. That, with the different shifts in those sparkly bits, love it. Okay, I need to come back and do something a little crazier for date night, so stick around. I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna have to do a little patch job and clean up underneath my eyes here in just a minute. I am covered in glitter right now. I've got sparkly bits everywhere. I think I've got most of it off. We'll just have to see. As long as I don't have too much on my fingers and then go to touch my face, Yeah, that's one of the challenges of doing multiple looks all at the same time as opposed to doing them on consecutive days is sometimes you get glitter fallout. There are two shades that I just really want to get my fingers into. These two right here. One of them looks like it's a blue purple called Yoruba, maybe. And then the last one is called Sand. This one right here, this like a green sparkly bits. I love that. I love this olive green. Love that olive green shimmer. Love that. And I love the ivy one too. Do we do one that I would actually wear, or do we do one that is completely out of our comfort zone? Do I have to do two looks? I think I have to do two looks. I was gonna do just the one to end up this video, but I think I'm gonna have to do two. So I'm gonna go back into that same Thank Me Later eyeshadow primer. Hopefully it'll have enough time to dry down. I did get this eyeshadow primer off of Amazon. I don't know where else you can get it. It was ridiculously highly rated and it wasn't super expensive. I wanna think maybe $13, which is, you know, it's not free. I think there are cheaper eyelid primers out there. However, little goes a long way. And I'm nervous. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna start with the blue. This one's called Afro Beats. This is my least favorite color in this palette, and I'm starting with it. I feel like I have to do something that's challenging my comfort level. I have to. I love blues with brown eyes, and I absolutely love greens. I would wear green any day that I'm doing something creative. Sorry, I went into the shade Chic here, this one right here. So I started with this one right here and I'm doing this one right. If I could get away with doing a green eyeshadow every single day, I probably would. I love purple too. I used to not. I used to be terrified of purple, and then I decided one time, the first, I think might have even been my first Shop My Stash video, I decided I was gonna tackle purple. It's been a while now. It's been like a year and a half since I did that video. Okay, that color is absolutely beautiful too. Yeah, pretty. I'm actually gonna take the lighter shade, that Afro Beat, just a little bit on top of it here, and that's just a bit here. Not a professional makeup artist. Keep that in mind. Lady of a certain age. Wouldn't leave the house looking like this. We gotta fix this and make it do something that I would absolutely wear. I love both of these shades so much. Do I do the purple one or do I do the green one? Maybe I do both. All right, we're starting with this one on the inner corner here. Oh, that's beautiful. Love that shade. I don't know if you guys are close enough. I probably should have brought you in a little bit. I'm sorry. Wow. Loving, loving, loving that shade. And we're putting that up against it. Oh, that's beautiful too. This shade looks a little bit like the one from the recent Pat McGrath palette, or the newest Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction palette, because it has that kind of suspended blue reflex on top of brown. Super pretty. All right, let's clean this up a little bit. It looks skippy. I don't wear light blue eyeshadow. I don't, but now all of a sudden I'm loving these colors so much. I'm gonna go into this deep royal blue. It is a shimmer too, but it's the darkest shade in this color story. So one that I'm gonna use to kind of anchor this look. And again, this is what we would do for date night, right? This is not something I personally would do for every day, out in natural daylight. This is one that when I want to have a lot of attention, this is my creative outlet right here. This crazy blue eyeshadow. Needs a little bit of an inner corner highlight. Let me grab this one right here. That's gonna go right on top of baby blue matte right there in the center. This feels all kinds of like space goddess look. Let me put some mascara and some eyeliner on and I'll be right back. Change my battery, scooted you in a little bit more. This is my final blue goddess look. And it's a lot. You have to be, in my opinion, and this is hard to look at when you're so lopsided, but this is the look that I would do if I was wearing something ridiculously simple and the eyeshadow really becomes the focal point. I love the way this makes my brown eyes just totally sparkle. That's really pretty. Let's do something on this eye over here. Let's balance things out, but in a creative kind of way here. So I have to do something with this green, the green stuff over here. So I'm gonna do kind of like the same concept, but with the green. And let's just see which one we like better. Now, I don't have, wait, do I have the same? I have the same quantity of mattes in this column. This is just a grungier green version, where the other one was very much a lagoon blue version. So that green right there is called Teraba. I gotta scoot you in. I thought you were a little bit closer, but you weren't. It's the whole changing the battery thing. Okay, so there's my first initial grain, and I'm actually just gonna, since I did this before, take whatever's left on the brush just over here, the top of that, because I know I'm going to use that other darker color. All right, just kind of blending it up a little bit. It's so sheer right now, you almost don't even see it. I'm going to take the darkest, deepest shade in here, and we're going to do like we normally do, which is start at the lash line, kind of work our way up, and then get into the crease a little bit. Now, I feel like that green has a little bit of a blue tinge to it that I didn't see initially. It's not really like a, what would I call that? I don't know, I just feel like it went a little blue on me. Not like full on blue, but like there's maybe more of a forest green. Which one's that one called? Ooh, knocking brushes over here. That one's called, I don't know why I'm trying to pronounce these. Ndebele, Ndebele. Sorry. I'm sure these are, I mean, that's culture, right? I'm sure there's a cultural reference for it. I'm ignorant and I apologize. I hope by me mispronouncing things, it is not offensive to you in some way. Love this. Absolutely love this. I have to take this green, olive green shimmer right here because I feel like this is exactly the shade that I would use, probably more so than any other shade in this palette. It's like a green, bronze, olive, shimmery goodness, perfection. That's a lot of words to describe that, but wow, I love that. This has now become a look I would 100% leave the house in without question, no doubt about it. This one, you're gonna have to convince me. You're gonna have to convince me to leave the house like this with that blue. It's just not my comfort zone. This, 3 shades already, and I am 100% okay with it. I didn't know how I'd feel with that neon green, like this bright lime green right here. I didn't know how I'd feel about it, but I love it. It gives me that light matte to balance out that darker forest green and that gold green olive, martini olive shimmer. Super stoked. Okay, I need to take a little of this lightest green right here, right on the inner corner. Super pretty. Let me do a little cleanup really fast. I've got one other shade in here, but I want to use it underneath. So let's get this cleaned up. Okay, that took hardly any effort at all to get that cleaned up a little bit. Now I'm going to take this dark, sparkly, it's the middle one in this row, and it's called I think it says TIV. I'm having a hard time reading it with the white lettering on kind of light blue. That particular swath is like a light background. I normally don't do a ton of shimmery type eyeshadows underneath because I think it's easy to get into the wrinkles and crinkles, but I actually love this shade. What a soft way to line your eyes. That's super pretty. I love this. Love, 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 love. This is my favorite row so far. Without a doubt. I'm going to take a little bit of the darkest shade, this dark shade in this row, this dark green right here, and I'm just going to layer a little bit on top, a little bit in waterline, and a little bit up here. I'm not going to do liner. This look doesn't need liner. This one I went overboard. This is crazy. This, I would absolutely leave the house like this. Maybe with mascara. Love, love, love those greens. Surprisingly, I liked the pinks. The neutrals, you know, you get neutrals in so many palettes. I don't think you're not buying this for the neutrals. Any neutral in here is just helping you get more use out of the palette. And again, you know, a quick boring brown gets you out the door for work. This palette is your playtime palette. This is your, I'm feeling creative. I have one rainbow palette. The Juvia's Place line doesn't tend to break the budget. They're a moderately priced to maybe even almost drugstore friendly pricing. I buy them at Ulta. I feel like I've got better luck getting them at Ulta than I do, say, ordering from the Juvia's Place website. If you saw my Shop My Stash video, you heard me say I've had some challenges ordering from Juvia's Place before. But if you were thinking about picking this up, this is a fun rainbow palette with some edge. These greens, I love this. I love, love, love this look. Love it. I loved the pinks. This row of your boring shades, this one ended up a little bit more orange than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was my orange coral shade. This ended up being super orange, and I didn't see it. I see it in the viewfinder now. I didn't see it when I was looking at the palette. The blues, it's too much for me. I feel like somebody from Dynasty or something. I just can't do it. The purples are all very dark. It's a dark purple row. So maybe I would pair this with like maybe this row. Maybe I would do the yellow or the orange and the purple, kind of jarring. The green and the pink are my favorite rose. All right, you guys, I don't know if that helps you guys at all decide. I think some of you were wondering, can a lady of a certain age get looks that she'd leave the house in? I'm going to say absolutely yes. I know that I can get multiple looks from this palette that I would actually leave the house in. Can I get something that's pure over the top craziness that I would be, you have to really put on your big girl panties and be super confident? That would be like this. I'm struggling with seeing how I would leave the house like this. Maybe I would do one of the shades. In fact, you know what? Let's do that really fast. I'm not trying to do 5 looks with this, but I think I need to do the blue an actual way I would use it. So I've left most of my mascara on, and I took off most of that blue, left the eyeliner on too. I want to use this one shade right here. That's like my favorite shade. I want to use that all over the lid without anything else initially and just see how that looks. Is this a way I could do blue? This blue row? Did I just solve my problem and get over my fear of the blue? Maybe. Let's take that, and then we're gonna grab this brown right here, the boring shade, and I'm gonna use that just over the top, kind of smooth it out and anchor it. Yeah, that's how you do this. This is exactly how you do this row. I was overthinking it. I tried to put on every single shade. Kind of lost that a little bit here. Tried to put on every single shade, and I didn't need to do that. I could have literally just left it like this. It gives it something fun, a little nod at the blue without being over the top. I feel like did I lose a little bit of it? I didn't mean to do 5 looks with this palette, you guys, but I couldn't leave well enough alone. I couldn't just leave that one shade and go, or that one crazy blue eye look and go, oh yeah, rock this look. Pasadena. I'm going to take the darker blue in here again and just smudge that in and down here. Now, my eyes are looking a little bloodshot, and that's because I have been abusing them and I'm wearing contacts. But if you can get past the bloodshot, isn't that how you would do crazy blue? It doesn't look crazy blue. Yeah, I don't mind that. That brown anchoring out that shimmer blue all of the lid. Wow. Now I figured out how to use the blue row. You don't overthink it. You don't need to put on every single shade. You need 2, 3, maybe. Did that help you guys at all? I'm not trying to convince you to buy this. If you don't need a rainbow palette, don't buy this palette. If you were in the market for something, you want to dip into color, you want to all of a sudden play with some pinks, some purples, some greens, some blues, and really kind of try to figure out how to incorporate that into a regular look, this is a good price point to play with color. I would say Juvia's Place, maybe Profusion Cosmetics would be another great price point to play with color. Or if you decide, hey, I love green, I want to go on a green kick, maybe check out Beauty Bay. Beauty Bay has some of like their big palettes. They have like the Earth one, and I don't remember all of them but they're recently like larger single color stories. I think they had several different sizes. But for the price point, I would consider that too. I'd love this. All right, you guys, I need to get out of your hair. I need to go get some other stuff done. So I appreciate you guys sticking around with me this long. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, do the thing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.